Welcome back to the Desire to Dream podcast, where we turn your purpose into power and your dream into discipline. I'm your host, Lo Wilder, and today I'm going to be giving you 3 tips on how you could reignite your dream, become the person God created you to be. I'll see you on the other side.
Yeah, desire to dream. What do you mean? Take a good look at my life. Yeah, my future it gleams. Desire to dream. What do you mean? I cannot lose, cause I got God on my team.
You're listening to Desire to Dream, the podcast that ignites vision, strengthens faith, and empowers you to unlock your God-given potential. I'm Lo Wilder, American businessman, published author, international speaker, mortgage professional, and business coach. And it's time to reignite your dream. Let's get it. Look, man, the wealthiest place on earth is the graveyard. Dreams buried because people were too tired, too busy, or too afraid to pursue them. You're talking about books that were never written, right? Albums that were never recorded, businesses that were never started, and all because people were too busy, they were too tired, and they were too afraid to get going. Now, I don't know about you, but if I have something that's burning inside, which I do, right? It's the purpose of this podcast, right? It's the speaking business, it's the coaching business. You heard all the different things that I'm doing, but the main thing that I know that God has created me so that I can be a difference maker, so that I can help people and help them achieve their goals and to reach massive levels of success. If you're listening to this right now, I need you to understand something. You were created for a purpose, to do something special, and you're not going to feel fulfilled until you tap into your purpose. Desire to Dream is for the dreamer, the husband, the wife, the leader, the entrepreneur, the young adult finding his way, who's been quietly asking God, is there more for me? And the answer is quite simple. The answer, my friends, is yes. But you've got to do more than just believe, and you've got to build. So let's get into this podcast because I know it's going to bless you so that you can reignite your purpose and turn that purpose into power so that you can impact, influence, and empower others to live their dream. So let's get it. I'm a husband, a father, a faith-filled man of God, but I'm also someone who has battled setbacks. I grew up in poverty. I struggled in school. Man, I stayed back in the 7th grade. Yep, that's right. I stayed back in the 7th grade, man. I battled weight loss. I battled fear. I battled anxiety. I've been through a lot of stuff that has gotten me to the level of life, to the person who you're seeing here today. You know, in my paint sales career, I've sold over $60 million. I've had a lot of success. I built $1 million sales territory from scratch. I founded a coaching business that transformed lives. I've been speaking internationally. I've done some great things, but none of that came easy. It came through sacrifice, clarity, discipline, faith, and relentless execution. And if I can do it, so can you. This episode is about reigniting your dream and stepping boldly into the person that God has called you to be. You spent enough time doubting, delaying, being distracted. Now it's time for you to decide what you really want to become, who you want to be. Do you want to build wealth that outlives you? Do you want to be able to tap into what God placed inside of you so that when it's all said and done, He looks at you and says, my faithful servant, I'm proud and pleased to see what you've been able to do. You've taken your gift, your talent, your skills. You've been able to multiply. You've been able to execute at a high level. Look, man, you're built for this. That means that you're strong enough to handle it. You're smart enough to figure it out. And you're disciplined enough to see it through. The dream isn't dead. It's just waiting for you to give it permission to live. Look, I want to be honest with you, right? I want to share with you one of my fears, and I'm not afraid to die. I know a lot of people are afraid to die, but as a Christian who believes in Jesus, I know that I have a place when I leave this earth. But what does scare me is the thought of meeting the man that I was meant to become and not recognizing him. Like God showing me, look, this is the person I created for your life. And when I look at that person and when I see the accomplishments that that person had made, when I see the physique that the person had, the happiness, the joy, the peace that surpasses all understanding, when I see that person or that version of me and I look at them and say, yo, that's not who I am. That to me, my friends, is my biggest fear. My biggest fear is finding out that I lived a life that wasn't optimized or wasn't like I didn't max out the gifts, the talents, every opportunity that God has given for me. Yo, that's my biggest fear. I don't want that to be my story, and I definitely don't want it to be your story. So let's talk about 3 things you need to know right now to reignite the dream. Let's get it. The first thing I need you to do is I need you to reconnect with the vision that God gave you. Before life got loud, what did God whisper in your heart? What was that thing that got you thinking, sleepless at night? The thing that you knew, like, yo, if I can turn this thing into a reality, that it'll bring peace, it'll bring happiness, it will bring joy. Get this, it will bring fulfillment. I want you to go back to that dream before the distractions ever came. I want you to really, really dig deep. Before you got busy, before you started chasing your career, before you became a parent and your children became your everything, I want you to tap in to that dream, the original thought that God placed in your heart. I want you to take a moment to pray and ask God to whisper that vision in your ear one more time. Maybe you forgot. Maybe you got so distracted with life that you absolutely forgot what God gave you, what your purpose was. And that's okay, because this is going to help you reignite, it's going to help you reconnect, and it's going to reposition you so that you can go out and make this thing happen. I want you to visualize yourself living in that dream. All right. There's something that Ed Milet talks about, and it's called the power of visualization. I want you to close your eyes and I want you to really start thinking about living out that dream, living out the version of yourself, the life that you imagine. What is it that you want? Is it the business, right? Stop working for somebody else, making their dream become a reality, and really start thinking about the things that's in your heart. Because the truth is this: when you're living out somebody else's dream, or when you're living out someone else's expectations, you're just not happy. Like, that's just the facts. Like, you're not happy. You're not really enjoying life. You're going to work every single day miserable. There's a study that showed that 87% of Americans go to jobs that they hate, jobs that they don't like. They wake up every single Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to go help someone else's dream, to go help someone else's expectation. Like, I really want you to start thinking about the thing that really, really gets you excited, the thing that gives you the energy, the boost. See, for me, creating this podcast gives me the opportunity to speak life to whoever's listening. Now, this is my first episode back in many years, but many people have asked me, Lo, when you're going to come back out with a podcast? When you're going to come back out with dropping, information that was helping me, get through whatever it was that I was going through? When are you going to go back? And the truth of the matter is that in these last couple of years, there's been a huge transition in my life. We had our daughter. I left my Fortune 200 company, moved from Atlanta back to Florida. We built this house, started a new career, went to school, got my education. Like, I'm doing so many different things. I took over as the youth ministry at my church. I have been super active, but the one thing that keeps burning inside is making sure that I am living out God's purpose for my life, that I'm out here helping people grow, develop, encourage them, empower them, motivate them, inspire them, right? Because I have a life story that inspires people when they're in their situation, whatever it is that they're going through. There's something that they're dealing with. I know that I have some motivation, some inspiration that can help them say, look, this is my life. These are the things that I went through. And if I can make it through this, then I know you can. I got back on the podcast because I know it's going to help people. It's going to reach masses. And as a professional speaker, as a published author, it's a way for me to continue to refine my gift, to refine my talent, the skill that God has given me, which is to be a speaker, to be able to pronunciate words, to be able to work on the gift. The Bible says that your gift will make room for you. So reigniting the podcast is a part of reigniting my dream. And I want you to know something, that if God gave you the vision, he will also give you the provision. He's going to provide every need that you need. It's already laid out. He's already laid out the path. Proverbs 3:5 says to trust in the Lord with all your heart and all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your path. Your path is already set by God. He's already gone before you. He's already lived through your life. He's already created a way. Like for real, like let's think about moments in life when you thought about, man, going through this situation and I don't even know how I'm going to get out of it, but you got out of it. God already went through that and he already provided your need. You're probably in a situation right now, listening to this podcast, and you're in a tight situation, whether it's financially, maybe you're battling some type of relationships, maybe you're battling a job right now, you have a supervisor that you're not getting along with, whatever it might be, know that God has already had provision in your life. There's already an answer to your problem. There's already a solution to your situation. So trust in the fact that God has given you a vision, but he's also giving you provision so you can go out and make it happen. I want you to take a moment to reflect on this question. What vision have you buried, right? What vision have you buried that still burns within you? I really want you to think about that question. Take a week, whatever it might be. I want you to think about the one thing that you keep on thinking about. Like the one thing that every time you get frustrated with your job, that one thing keeps popping back up. And what is the one thing that's burning inside? What is that desire? And let's go ahead and really answer that question so that we can move on to the next thing, so we can help you create that plan, that path, so you can execute at a high level. Tip number 2, and this is very important, is that I need you to take back control of your life. Most of you who are listening to this podcast, you have given your life away to other people. You have given your time away. You're substituting your time for money. You're not truly living and walking in your purpose. Truth of the matter is, you don't think that your purpose is worth paying, right? That's one of the biggest mistakes that most people have. The other thing is that you haven't practiced on your gift in so long that you're like, man, I'm just old. I just want to pay my bills. I just want to take care of my family, and that's it. But you're going to live a life that's unfulfilled if you continue on that route. So you have to tap into what's burning inside and take back control. The one thing that you have to do is you need to start eliminating the people who are draining your energy, who are distracting you from your focus. Those individuals, those people that when you bring up your dream, when you bring up your goals, they're like, man, I ain't trying to hear all of that. You need to really start surrounding yourself with the right circle and start eliminating those people. Start eliminating those habits. Maybe you have some bad habits that you have to get rid of, that's making you procrastinate, that's keeping you behind from your goals, that's not putting you in a position so that you can win. Maybe it's the environment that you're in. Maybe it's the job that you have that's really blocking you from really tapping into your purpose and fulfilling the thing that God placed inside of you. Whatever it is, I need you to identify it and eliminate it this week. Stop living to fulfill everyone else's expectations. Your purpose matters. What God placed inside of you matters, and we all need to see that thing come to life. Another thing to keep in mind is to create healthy boundaries and reclaim your time, your energy, and your mental space. Let go of guilt for prioritizing your growth. It's not selfish, it's stewardship. I want you to take this action step this week. I want you to audit your time, make room for your purpose, not just productivity. I want you to stop getting into the busy work and really start thinking intentionally so that you can be more productive towards your dreams and to executing what you want to have in your life. Which brings me to tip number 3, which is to create a plan and execute with massive action. Dreams without execution becomes regrets with receipts. Dreams without discipline are just wishes. These next 30 to 90 days, I really want you to start mapping out what you need to do. I want you to start setting daily goals with timelines, and make sure you get an accountability partner if you need one. There's coaching out there that's available. If you need to tap in with me, DM me, message me, man. I'm a coach. I help you perform at a high level, but I'm going to hold you accountable to that daily goal so that when we talk each week, you can see the progress and know, hey, look, I'm going to get better. One of the things that I'm working on currently is my weight loss. I've been a football player my whole life. I've been able to battle weight. I've been battling weight, been able to lose weight. I know what to eat. I know how to work out. But I needed to hire someone that's going to help me with the nutrition, help me with the plan that fits my schedule, my life right now. It's not embarrassing. Sometimes you need help. Man, Kobe Bryant needed help. He still hired a coach outside of Phil Jackson so he can get better each day. So why not you? What makes you so special that you don't have to hire a coach? A coach helps you, right, recognize your blind spots, and it holds you accountable, holds you to the fire when you need to get things done. When you set deadlines, it helps you to make sure that you're going out and doing what you say you're going to do. So hire yourself a coach. Know that discipline is the bridge between the dream and the destination. Discipline is going to help you get there. It's going to help you execute at a very high level. It's going to help you stay focused day in. It's going to help you when you don't want to do it, because there's going to be days you don't want to do it. There's days I don't want to go to the gym. There's days that I don't want to meal prep. There's days where I just want to sleep in, play some Xbox. Yes, I still play Xbox. I still set time for that at least once a month. Like, I may not play every single day, but I still schedule out time, because look, at the end of the day, we're human. And if I wasn't being real with y'all, then I don't even know why I'm doing this podcast. But I really want to help you so that you can grow and develop and know that reigniting the dream is going to come with sacrifices, but you're still human. You just have to be intentional with your time and making sure that you schedule so that you can execute what you need to do. So for this week, I want you to challenge yourself. I want you to commit to one action every single day that serves your dream, not someone else's. Every single day, I want you to do one thing. Like for me, if it was just writing the title of this podcast, that's the one thing. That's the one thing I'm going to do today. That gets me closer. The next day is start piecing out the material, the content, schedule the time. Okay, today I'm going to schedule the time to write, to read, and to really perfect this podcast. Look, I'm rusty, man. I'm going to be honest with you, right? Like, I haven't done a podcast in 2 years. And so I'm just now getting back into it. And it's just going to get better as I work on it day in and day out. And the same thing is going to apply to you when you take one day at a time, focusing on your dream and taking one action step each and every day. Look, you weren't just built to survive life. You weren't built just to, pay bills, go to work and just live, right? You weren't there to just exist. You were built to live out purpose. So reignite the dream. You still have time. I don't care how old you are. I don't care how old you are. I'm going to turn 40 years old this year, and I have massive dreams, right? And I don't think about the years that have passed, the time that I wasted, the things that I wasn't able to get done. I have time right now, and you do too. So whatever's inside of you, I want you to really start working on that thing. So that's it for today's episode. Thank you for rocking with me, man. And remember, success isn't about perfection. It's about consistent execution. So whatever your goals are, show up with intention, take action with purpose, and stay locked in on the bigger vision. Execute the day, trust the process, and never stop building the life that you were born to lead. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.